When we think about changing our lives or creating a new destiny, we're often told to just imagine or visualize a better future. But what if the ability to imagine feels blocked, like the door to possibilities has been sealed shut? Let's dive into something deeply personal, yet universal. How trauma can impair our imagination, and what that means for creating a new life for ourselves. In the book, The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel van der Kolk explores how trauma profoundly impacts the imagination. Trauma can rob us of the ability to let our minds wander and play, trapping us in a cycle of replaying old memories. Instead, we become stuck in an endless loop of the past. Imagination is essential to the richness of life. It allows us to envision new possibilities and serves as the launch pad for transforming our hopes into reality. It ignites creativity, soothes pain and boredom, amplifies joy, and deepens the connections in our closest and most intimate relationships. When we are repeatedly drawn back into the past, we are not only re-traumatized, but we also lose access to the inner vision that allows us to dream and create. Without the ability to envision a different future, our minds remain stuck in survival mode, unable to explore new possibilities or tap into the creative potential that fuels growth and transformation. Without imagination, there's no hope, no vision of a brighter future, and no clear path forward. It's as if life becomes a static picture instead of a story we can shape and rewrite. Imagination is more than daydreaming. It's a tool for healing and reinvention. But when the past dominates our mental space, it obscures our capacity to see beyond what we've experienced. We become trapped in a loop, unable to access the expansive inner world that empowers us to imagine a better life, to innovate, or to reimagine ourselves in a new light. Breaking free from this cycle is essential for reclaiming the mental freedom to dream, create, and shape a fulfilling future. Trauma isn't just about the event that happened. It's about how our nervous system responds and how our brain adapts to survive. When we experience trauma, our brain prioritizes safety and survival over creativity and exploration. The limbic system, the part of our brain responsible for emotions and fight or flight responses, takes over. In this state, the parts of our brain that fuel imagination and curiosity, like the prefrontal cortex, become less active. This can make imagining a different life feel impossible. Instead of seeing possibilities, we see limitations. Instead of dreaming, we replay fears. Imagination is the blueprint for change. It allows us to picture what doesn't yet exist and believe that it's possible. But if trauma has dulled our ability to envision something new, we get stuck in the same patterns, reliving the same struggles. It's not just mental, it's physiological. Trauma shrinks the parts of the brain that enable creativity, hope, and problem solving. Visualizing a better future requires trust. Trust that it's safe to dream, safe to hope, and safe to believe in change. Trauma erodes that trust, leaving us bound to the familiar, even when the familiar is painful. The good news is that while trauma may dim our imagination, it doesn't extinguish it. With intentional steps, we can begin to unlock it once more. Let's take a moment to connect with our bodies, which carry so much of our trauma. Close your eyes if you can, and let your awareness settle on your toes. Now take some time to notice how they feel. Are they warm or cool, relaxed or tense? Slowly let your awareness rise into your legs, your stomach, your chest, all the way to the crown of your head. If you notice tension or discomfort, simply acknowledge it without judgment. This moment of noticing helps us step out of autopilot and become more present. Let's try one more grounding exercise to help reconnect with the present. Take a deep breath and look around you. Notice 5 things you can see. Maybe it's the light in the room or the texture of an object nearby. Now find 4 things you can physically feel. Your hands on your lap, the floor beneath your feet. Listen for 3 things you can hear, no matter how quiet or distant. Bring awareness to 2 things you can smell, and finally notice 1 thing you can taste. These simple moments of presence help us reclaim our ability to be here, now, and open up space for imagining a different future. Rebuilding our imagination starts with grounding and small moments of creativity like this. Trauma shrinks the parts of our brain that fuel hope and innovation, but with practice, we can begin to expand those pathways again. You may have heard Dr. Joe Dispenza say, "Neurons that fire together wire together." This means that when a circuit in your brain is activated repeatedly, it becomes the default response, the one most likely to occur. For someone who has experienced trauma, this often results in being stuck in cycles of fear, hypervigilance, or withdrawal. But here's the good news. If you feel safe and loved, your brain develops differently. It becomes specialized in exploration, play, and cooperation, the very qualities that ignite imagination and creativity. By creating moments of safety and connection, we can begin to rewire our brains, opening the door to a future filled with possibility and innovation. So how do we do this? It starts with nourishing our relationship with ourselves. We take the time to truly get to know who we are and what we need. By tuning in and meeting those needs, whether it's rest, a nourishing meal, a hot shower, or connection, we begin to cultivate a sense of safety within. When people speak of presence, especially in the spiritual realm, this is what they're referring to: a calm, regulated nervous system. It's a state where you feel grounded and connected to yourself, as well as to the people and environment around you. Presence isn't about forcing stillness or quiet. It's about cultivating a sense of ease and safety with this moment as it is. When we feel safe, both emotionally and physically, our nervous system can shift out of survival mode. This creates the conditions for curiosity, imagination, and creativity to flourish. Step by step, we rebuild that foundation of trust in ourselves, which allows us to envision and create a brighter future. Reconnecting with our imagination and presence is a journey, one that requires patience, compassion, and small, consistent steps. By grounding ourselves, nurturing our inner world, and creating a sense of safety within, we begin to rewire the patterns that trauma has left behind. This isn't just about healing, it's about rediscovering the vibrant, creative, and hopeful parts of ourselves that have always been there, waiting to emerge. Remember, your imagination is a powerful tool for transformation, and every moment of presence, brings you closer to the life you're capable of envisioning and creating.